I know you're a special educator, so even our most profound disabilities that students have, we've worked with a group called Project Search. I don't know if you're familiar with it, but the whole idea is to take some of our students that may be going to be going into a group home once they graduate, but give them actual job skills where they can maximize the potential for independence. So not only are they practicing being in a group home in high school, but they're practicing a real job that they can do at the grocery store or even at a hospital folding towels. And those kids, that is their college and career pathway.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Brighter Together podcast. My name is Janet Courtney, and my guest today is Robert Sormani. He is the superintendent at Maynard ISD in Maynard, Texas. Robert, thank you so much for joining the podcast today.
Thank you for having me. Appreciate it.
I'm excited to hear about what you guys are doing. We talked a little bit before we went on, and it sounds like there's some amazing things going on in your district. So feel free to tell us about it.
Oh, sure. Maynard ISD, we're of 10,000 students, just passed the 10,000 mark this year. We are just outside of Austin, a little bit northeast on Highway 290. If you ever go down from Austin to Houston, you'll pass right through us. We're an interesting district because we're real kind of long. And so we've got part of us was actually in the city of Austin, and then part of the district is in the city of Maynard, and then part of the district is more rural Travis County. So an interesting mix of areas within the school district. And of course, we're real proud that, we bring kids from all these areas and community members, and we produce more kids with associate's degrees than any other high school in Central Texas. Real pride for
Congratulations.
us.
Yeah, that's fantastic. So how did you do that?
Oh, well, you get a great bunch of teachers together and you really support the program and you form a strong partnership with someone like ACC, and it really gives you that opportunity to propel kids forward. One of the things we're really looking forward to is finding ways to really attract more students earlier on to track that path, because you really need to start thinking, if I'm a middle school student and middle school parents, that this would be good for me. Well, I need to really get my academics in a row so that I'm capable of taking college classes at the high school level. And so we're really looking forward to expanding the number of graduates by focusing on students at the middle school level and encouraging them to go that pathway.
Fantastic. And also, you guys are award winners, right?
Yeah, we are also a Texas Art Educator Association District of Distinction for the sixth straight year. That's a big honor for us. I think there's only 15 school districts in the state of Texas that have that distinction of six straight years, and there's roughly just under 1,200 school districts in the state of Texas. So we're one of 15 in that 1,200 group
15 out of
has
1,200.
done it.
That's impressive. Yes,
It is, and I
congratulations.
was excited. We actually have a black box theater. One of the students stopped me in the hallway and said, "Why don't you ever come to any of my plays?" I said, "Well, why don't you ever invite me?" And so he invited me, and so I showed up last night, and wonderful production. Our seniors are going through what they call their senior productions, where they're each allowed to fully produce and direct their own play,
Wow.
and fantastic work that they did, and it was exciting to see. But I only use that example. I've got a lot of examples of unique arts opportunities our students have. We have an incredible Latin jazz band. It's not just jazz; it's Latin jazz. But you would
Wow.
never believe it. It's actually at a middle school, and they do some fantastic music. Wants to, you hear some samba and you want to jump up and dance to a middle school jazz band. It's amazing. So,
Wow.
I tried to play marimba with them once, didn't work out.
Didn't work so well. Not me. Not me. I can't even keep a beat. Are you kidding me? I sing in the shower and in the car. That's it. That's as far as you're gonna get. I was at a conference for special educators up in Michigan through the MACE organization, great organization. And the first night they were there, they did karaoke, and they were like, "You're gonna get up there." I was like, "Oh no, 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 definitely, you do not want to hear me singing." So, but that's
Yeah,
awesome. That's
yeah,
fantastic.
yeah. I'm not sure I'd get up there with the choir and sing. We actually had a whole bunch of choir students. Gosh, I can't remember how many it was. Maybe seven choir students make it to the state
Wow.
choir, which is huge, having that many students at a
Yeah.
state choir. But no, I wouldn't embarrass myself or them by me trying to sing with them.
Right. Right. And a couple of other things that you've done. I'm just so impressed with you. You've done so many amazing things, but you have balanced a budget that was not balanced.
Yeah, yeah, and, that's a team effort. It's not just me. I with the team of 8, which is our trustees, we set the goal that we want this year to be the year we balance the budget. Many school districts, I think it was at one point, 60% of all school districts in the state of Texas were running deficit budgets. There hasn't been a lot of increase in
Mm.
funding since 2019. I think the state comptroller said our costs have increased by 20% since 2019, and we've had very little new funding since then.
Mm.
So, I mean, no, everybody who's a business person knows that that's a recipe for a deficit right there.
Yeah.
But we
Yeah.
basically, we come together and we say, okay, what are our priorities, and then how are we going to go about choosing these priorities, and then you go to work. We have gotten there. We will present a balanced budget in June to our community and to our trustees, and I'm very proud that we were able to do that.
Yeah. That's amazing. And how far out of budget were you when you started this whole process?
It started at 24 million, and so we
Wow.
took 2 years to get it under control. Luckily, in the past, trustees have done a great job of preserving some money, so we did have some savings that we could help spread out over 2 years, the deficit reduction. So that was always the plan, and so now we're at that final point where we will turn the corner, so we will start adding to our savings account rather than spending it down.
Wow, that's fantastic. That is really, really fantastic. And you're doing that and being an award-winning school and working with kids, associate's degrees. That's really impressive. It's really impressive.
Well, thank
So,
you, and
no,
I
go
was gonna
ahead.
say, I don't wanna leave out my athletics programs 'cause, I don't know if I told you this, but we now have had, let's see, let me make sure I count right, 4, our former students in the last 3 years have been drafted to NFL teams. And
Wow.
right, and we even have a first rounder. I'm not a Dallas Cowboys fan, but, Dallas Cowboys in the first round drafted one of our former students as well.
Wow.
But wait,
Wow.
there's more.
Wow.
We actually have
Okay.
we actually have one player that's been drafted by in the NBA who plays for the Toronto Raptors. Uh,
Wow.
so we've had 5 pro athletes drafted in the last, 2.5 years, and so that's, I don't know of any public school that can match that record, and so
Wow.
I'm
What is
really
in the water
excited.
up there?
I think a lot of it really, I point sometimes to what's unique about Maynard, and I was telling you earlier, you've got uh, East Austin, urban, you've got small town Manor, and then you have this rural area. And I think, our strength is if we have this diverse group of students and people coming together. And I think together we become stronger and better and challenge ourselves to be better at different things. And I think that that's showing in all kinds of areas within the district.
Yeah, and what a fabulous thing for the kids too to see what's capable. Your graduates are going, "Hey, so, somebody else has done it, and I can do it."
Yeah,
Right?
and our graduates, they're so great. They come back. Um, the valedictorian last year, he got a Division I scholarship to Air Force and joined the Air Force. Um, but he was not only what I loved about him and his story is not only is he like a top football player, but he was also the valedictorian of the whole Maynard High School. And,
Wow.
his goal is to be a doctor, and I think it shows students that there's all kinds of pathways to success, whether you're just straight academics, athletics, or fine arts. Yeah, there are a whole lot of ways, which reminds me, gotta tell you about our Tesla connection. Uh,
Right.
we every year, and it's coming up pretty soon here, we have now our former students come back and they recruit for Tesla, and they look for students who are just graduating and wanna go straight into the workforce. And real fantastic program. One student that I bumped into a lot, this is a student that was near dropping out, got back into an alternative school, finished his degree, managed to get on it with Tesla. Life-changing money for him and his family to work at that manufacturing plant just south of us. Really
Mhm.
changed his life trajectory. And the last time I saw him, he was telling me, "Gosh, it's such hard work, and I work so many hours, and sometimes I wanna quit, but I bought a truck, and I have a car payment." And he's like, "But it's the first truck my family has ever bought new." And
New,
just so
wow.
excited. And I was like, yeah, I mean, that's pretty much life. You're in debt forever and you're going to be working it off forever. So, but congratulations to you.
Yeah.
But those kind of programs too, because not everybody is on a trajectory to go to college. Some people want to work
No,
straight
it's
out
not
of
for
high school.
everybody.
And
Yeah.
it's great that there are those opportunities, and our teachers can give those kids the skill sets they need to begin to work.
Yeah.
We're actually kind of in a tech hub. To the south of us is Tesla, to the east of us is and north of us now is Samsung, and then east
Huh?
of us is Applied Materials. So we have a number of high tech companies plus their not the subsidiaries, but their support network. We have a lot of little high tech companies that support them as well. So lots of opportunities
Wow.
for our kiddos once they graduate.
Well, that's just amazing. I'm just so impressed with what you guys are doing. The kids are getting a real start, a real, push to their future, which is what school's all about, right?
Yeah, we look to challenge our kids. One of our goals is to have 100% of our students to be what we consider college, career, and military ready by the time they graduate. We decided that the class of 2029 is the year we're going to try to hit 100%.
Wow.
And so it requires a lot of people all being focused. In fact, just before I got on this call with you, we were trying to figure out how many kids do we have enlisting in the military who are graduating this year, and we realized there was a discrepancy. We realized that wait, we have 9 students on this report, but we have these other 3 names. What happened? And so it's so important to us. My staff right now is scrambling. Okay, did those 3 students complete their enlistment? And if no, was that a paperwork issue? Did they decide against it, or did just the paper didn't get to the recruiter? So
Mhm.
it takes that kind of advocacy for our kids to make sure they get across the finish line and get to where they want to be.
Yeah. Yeah. That is and to do all of that and to be you must have an amazing team. I see an incredible leader here that it doesn't happen in a vacuum for sure.
Well,
So,
I appreciate the compliment, but it requires great leaders on this board of trustees, and it requires great leaders underneath me to help make that happen.
yeah. Yeah. And so you were saying you have 2 high schools, is that right? So, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, we have
So to
one large 6A high school, 2,600 students, and then we have kind of a smaller high school, which is in Texas would be considered a 4A high school, which right now is about 800 students.
Wow.
So
And then
families,
elementary and middle school as well that feed do you have multiple elementaries that feed into the middle school and then the high school? How's that work?
yes, we got 8 elementaries, 3 middle schools, and we have one K through 8 school,
Oh,
which is the
okay.
only one in Central Texas. A little more common in San Antonio, but it was being built before I got here, and so we have a K through 8, which is a little bit of a different feel for families. And I think the idea here is, I don't think the idea is that if I'm a parent, I can look with my child and decide what's the right fit for me.
Mhm.
For people, if you want what a big high school can offer you or a big school can offer you, there's a lot of things at that high school that you can't afford to have every single high school, but you have so many kids, you can put it there. That
Mhm.
means the range of course offerings, for example, the health science program there. If you want to learn how to be a phlebotomist, you can get certified at the high school. Uh, or if you want a more small feel and you're not interested in all those things, or you're not interested in giant big time sports necessarily, 4A school is smaller and
Right.
you know more people that way. And so for some students, they prefer that. And so I like that we have different types of schools for people to choose
Right.
from.
Yeah, it sounds like you have a lot of different pathways from all ranges and all backgrounds, which is fantastic. And they can choose which high school they want to with their parents?
Yeah, as long as there's space.
Okay.
Some areas we have transportation for, others don't. So some cases you got to transport,
Mhm.
get yourself there. But as long as we have space, I mean, I'm happy to accommodate wherever they want to go.
We all feel it. Students are struggling more than ever with emotional and behavioral challenges. Lighthouse Therapy offers virtual, hybrid, and in person behavioral and mental health support that builds around your school environment. Our licensed professional are trauma informed, experienced, and trained to work with K 12 students and staff. You don't get a cookie cutter approach, you get a partner who listens, adapts, and builds trust. Because when students feel safe and seen, they thrive. Learn how you can get support at your school at lighthouse-therapy.com/brighter together. Fantastic. Awesome. Awesome. Okay. Well, I have one other question that I ask every pretty much not 100%. I haven't been 100%, but I try to ask most people if you could miraculously solve one challenge at your school, what would you want to solve? Not money. Can't say money, but
Oh,
because we know
God.
there's money. We know money is always, Governor Abbott, we need more money for education, please, in Texas. you know, we know that, right? But what else? What other, I mean, you've done so many amazing things, but what would be one challenge that you feel like if we could just fix it, what would it be?
I want, and this is, I said it earlier, we have a goal of 100% of the class of
Mm-hmm.
2029 being college, career, military ready. And one of the barriers I see is making sure that everybody from the staff to the students to the parents understands the pathways and sees their child in one of those pathways. Because if
Mm-hmm.
100% of kids and parents and staff all say, you know what, I know the pathway this child is on, I'm going to help them get there, and the child begins to believe I have that pathway and I can get there, you can really do it.
Mm-hmm.
I know you're a special educator, so even our most our most profound disabilities that students have, we've worked with a group called Project Search. I don't know if you're familiar with it, but the whole idea is to take some of our students that may be going to be going into a group home once they graduate, but give them actual job skills where they can get maximize the potential for independence.
Right.
So not only are they practicing being in a group home in high school, but they're practicing a real job that they can do at the grocery store or even at a hospital folding towels. And those kids, that is their college and career pathway.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's really about, if I wave my magic wand, everyone instantly knows, oh, I know all the pathways, and all the students know, oh, I see myself in that pathway. That's what I want. And then all my staff is supporting that student because they know what they're after. That would be
And
what I
that
would do.
Yeah, and having goals and having a hope for the future is so important for all of us. I mean, all of us, but especially for kids that are trying to figure out where they're going and what they want to do. Hope is such an important part of our we talk about social emotional learning, and that's you're talking about hope, which is fantastic. So, and goals and having goals. Yeah, I get it. And I've seen those programs where kids are, you know, as a speech therapist, I've worked with lots of those kids for sure, and there is nothing more rewarding than seeing a child who has been successful and has achieved a goal and achieved that they've worked so hard for. So it doesn't matter what the goal is, right? It's just a matter that they have it. So I love that you have that vision too. Um, it doesn't happen, you keep saying it doesn't happen in a vacuum, and you're absolutely right, it doesn't, but you are a huge part of what makes that happen. So, again, congratulations. It's really amazing, to and I'm gonna follow you. I need to see how it goes. I'm excited for you guys. Texas is home, so I'm always excited when we get somebody from Texas who's doing really great things because it matters. It matters. It matters everywhere, but it's great when it's in your backyard too. So
Well,
um,
you're welcome to visit Maynard whenever you like.
I'd love to do
Take you
that.
down to the Good Luck Grill.
Well, we'll do that. We will absolutely do that. Robert, I want to let other people know how to find you. So, where should people go if they want to learn a little bit more about you or about the school or the programs that you've done? I always want part of this is, we're brighter together because I want other people to be able to know the amazing things that are happening. So, where would they find you?
Yeah, I mean, we have a pretty robust social media presence in Maynard ISD, both on X and Facebook, and so people want to see what's going on. Obviously, you can go to our website. You can also find me, Robert Sormani. I am the only Robert Sormani you're going to find in Texas and probably most of the states. My dad is Robert Sormani, but you will not find him. He has made sure of that.
Okay.
So, and the only other Sormani you're going to find is probably my sister. Um, she's not the right one.
Not
So,
the right one. We
I
need
mean,
Robert.
So you can certainly reach out and find out about what we're doing in those ways. And, certainly if there's people out here who want some ideas, I am one of those crazy superintendents that is obsessed with communication. And so I can't stand unanswered emails. So I do read all my emails, even though I may not
Nice.
respond to everyone. I might give it to other people to respond, but I read all those emails. It's been my habit to get a cup of coffee on the weekend, clean up my email. Makes me feel good
Mm,
walking into Monday,
mm.
like I already accomplished something.
I'm right there with you. I'm right there. You send me an email, I'm either gonna look at it, send it on, or delete it because I do get a lot of spam. But I always every single one of them, there's something I'm the same way. I if when I'm done, I'm like, I have 14 emails. They'll be cleaned out before I leave today because and I leave meaning I work from home, so turn off my computer. But same thing, I mean, it just is you stay on top of it and yeah, I get it. 100%, 100%. Well, Robert, thank you. This has been an incredible conversation. You guys are doing amazing things, and I would love to be able to highlight that so other people see the amazing things that are happening in Maynard ISD. And congratulations to your graduates. It's May 23rd, so we are right around the corner from graduation. And by the time this is aired, they will have graduated. So we're super excited for them, and the future is bright. So brighter together. There you go.
Awesome. Well, I appreciate your time, you taking with me and spreading the word for Maynard ISD.